This simple portfolio looks attractive because the live BestFolio catalog shows 8.3% annual growth over about 38.5 years. But the first number I care about is the drawdown, negative 36.7%. If you cannot survive that number, the return is just decoration. In this video, I'm going to show the rule, the growth curve, the worst hole, and the kind of investor who should probably walk away. Most investors compare strategies by annual return and stop there. That is backwards. The strategy has to be held through bad years, noisy recoveries, and periods where something simpler looks better. A very simple allocation can do better than many complicated tactical systems after fees, but the real cost is living through equity-like drawdowns. The real question is not whether the backtest looks impressive. The real question is whether the strategy gives you a reason to keep following it when the chart turns ugly. This simple portfolio is a rules-based portfolio. The backtest covers 1987 to 2026. There is no monthly signal and no heroic market timing. The important thing is that the rules are explicit enough to inspect, compare, and criticize. I like that because vague portfolio stories are easy to sell. Mechanical rules are harder to hide from. They either survive the data or they do not. Here are the current BestFolio numbers. Annual return is 8.3%. The worst drawdown is negative 36.7%. The Sharpe ratio is 0.93. Volatility is 10.2%. The United States stock benchmark has a worse drawdown around negative 55.5%, so the path matters as much as the headline return. The drawdown stays on screen because it is the number most videos quietly minimize. If you start with $100, the strategy ends near $2,200 in this reconstruction. The exact path is not a straight line. There are long quiet stretches, sudden drops, and years where the boring benchmark looks smarter. That is why I showed the drawdown beside the growth curve. A final balance can make a strategy look inevitable. The year-by-year path shows how many chances you had to abandon it. The rule set is simple enough to say out loud: hold 40% United States total stock market. Hold 20% international total stock market. Hold 40% total bond market, rebalance annually, then leave it alone. That simplicity is important. A portfolio rule should be explainable before it is trusted. If the edge only works when it is described with 20 moving parts, I assume the backtest is doing too much of the selling. Here, the mechanism is visible, so the trade-off is visible too. Now the honest part still has real stock risk. The live max drawdown is not small, even with bonds. No crash switch, it rides bear markets, instead of trying to step aside. International can lag, foreign stocks can trail the United States for years. Behavior is the edge, there is no magic hidden in the allocation. These caveats are not footnotes, they are the price of admission. Sometimes the cost is lower return. Sometimes it is a deeper loss. Sometimes it is missing a rebound or looking wrong for years. The stress test is the maximum drawdown. For this simple portfolio, that number is negative 36.7%. For the broad United States stock benchmark, the live catalog shows about negative 55.5%. Smaller is better, but smaller does not mean painless. A drawdown is not an abstract statistic when it is your account. It is the moment where the strategy has to justify why you should keep going. This is for investors who want a default portfolio they can actually maintain, people who care more about low fees than clever rules, long-term savers who can tolerate a large temporary drawdown. It is not for someone who only wants the biggest possible number on a backtest table. The right user is the person whose temperament matches the failure mode. If the worst drawdown would make you sell, the strategy is too aggressive, no matter how good the ending looks. You can inspect this simple portfolio on BestFolio, compare it against the rest of the strategy library, and see the same annual return, Sharpe ratio, volatility, and maximum drawdown in one place. Use the link in the description before trusting any headline return. Subscribe for more strategy research where the upside and the ugly parts stay on screen together.